Hello everyone, Roberto here for another video review. This time we have Tony's Chocolonely Sea Salt Caramel. Yes, so thanks so much to Leon Britton for recommending this one to me. I'm sorry for taking so long to get around to it. I just was getting through all my old chocolate backlog, and basically because they've got sell-by dates and things, I really needed to get them done. So thanks for your patience, and I hope it was worth the wait. Me too, of course, because you've bigged this one up pretty much. So I think this is your favourite chocolate, you were saying. So so fingers crossed. I like it just as much as you do, or if not as much, near enough. So I do apologise in advance, but I'm very excited about it. I originally thought it was Tony's Chocolonely, so like a bit like Chocolo, sort of like a silly take on chocolate, but it's Chocolonely. It is not Chocolonely, but Chocolonely. And I thought that was a very strange name for a bar, because it's sort of, I don't know, very strange. So I looked into it a bit more. I went on the website basically, and it turns out that it's a Dutch company, and the guy's not really called Tony. He's actually called the equivalent of Tony in Dutch. I can't quite recall off the top of my head what it is, unfortunately. I'll probably destroy the name anyway if I try to do a Dutch pronunciation. But but yeah, basically it's all about ending slavery really in the chocolate industry, or the chocolate manufacturing process, or whatever. We still don't quite explain why it's called Chocolonely, so it sounds a bit spurious really, but I guess, it does get you talking about it. Well, basically it's because a lonely place to be against slavery in the chocolate manufacturing process, or whatever. So that's the gist of it really. So it's not immediately apparent, and I think, I don't know, I feel like it perhaps, I don't know, it gets you asking the question, I guess, but when you see this, when you just see that on the bar, I think you'd probably be a bit confused as to what that's really about, and it doesn't overly say. I mean, it's got this like chain there, in that bit there, and that's sort of like, I think it says abolish it, or campaigning against slavery, or something like that. I think it does anyway. I can't quite. It's such small writing, I can't even read it. In the bigger bars, it's a bit bigger. I did get a bigger one as well. This is a massive bar to review later on. So what does it say? It might be able to. Yeah, it says together we'll make chocolate 100% slave free. It says Tony's Chocolonely underneath. Yeah, so it does say that, but you can't. But in this one, you can't even read that. So I don't know. I feel like the message might be a bit lost, and the point of the name might be a bit lost, and it might just leave people being a bit confused, really. And also, they had irregular shapes as well in the bigger bars. I don't know if it's irregular segments in the big bars. And the justification for that was because it wasn't an equal playing field. There was no equality in the chocolate manufacturing process as well. And that was the justification. And again, it's a bit spurious, really. I just kind of, I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't laugh really, but I just feel like I feel like if they want to put this message across, they probably could do it better. I don't know. So I don't really get it from that. I don't know. It seems a bit odd. So I think the branding is a bit funny, and I think I don't know. I feel like if they were going to do it, you'd go all in, I think, to do it. I think, you know what I mean. I just don't think it comes across very well in the just calling it Chocolonely and things like that. I think it sounds a bit like it's like it could be lost in translation, of course. Maybe, I don't know. It could be one of those things. I say it's a Dutch company. But I don't think so, because the Dutch people I know, I've got some family who are Dutch actually, and their English is better than mine. If you go to anywhere in Holland and you say, or Netherlands, and you say, do you speak English? And they say a little, and it basically means they're fluent and they're perfect. So, so basically, I'm not too sure about that, so who knows, but who knows, give the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, I think the branding and the naming and the justification things perhaps are a bit lost. And as I say, especially when it's that small, the description about together we'll abolish slavery in the chocolate, whatever it said before, you can't even read it, and it doesn't, if it said like, anti-slavery in chocolate or something like that along the side or something, or even on the front, I don't know. I don't think it needs to call itself Chocolonely either to do that. I think they could just put a big message on it. So anyway, I'm kind of going across here, and so sorry, Leanna, you probably just taste it, as most people are, I think. But yeah, I think it's worth discussing, because it is, you might look at this brand and think, well, what's that about? And it's a very funny name. Is it implying that people who eat chocolate are usually lonely people who sat on the sofa, don't do anything else other than just eat chocolate, and that kind of thing? And I think that's the kind of connotation I get from it, to be honest with you. I feel like it's a bit of a, I don't know, that was why I sort of, when I first saw it as Chocolonely, I thought that's what it was implying, really. And I think there is a sort of stereotype of people, who eat chocolate and don't do anything, and sit on their own, and are lonely people or something like that. I think that can be kind of some kind of stereotype, and I think that's wrong, really. And I think, unfortunately, that's the kind of impression I got from it. So yeah, I don't know, but I could be reading too much into it. Maybe it's not worth thinking about it too much, but branding's branding, and that's the whole point of it. And especially when you've got such a powerful message as anti-slavery and things like this, really, I think it could be done a bit better. But it's hard to keep it upbeat and things like that, isn't it, when you're doing this kind of thing? So I don't know. Maybe the fact that it's got me discussing it and it's got me thinking, why is it called this and why this, why that, is maybe what they tried to achieve, and maybe that's achieved it. So it could be that. So in which case, fair play to them, because obviously you see some bars that are fair trade and things, and you don't really think about it. You just think, well, fair trade, yeah, whatever. Gives more. It just costs me more money basically to buy the bar, and it might go to farmers or something. Maybe that's the gist of what But obviously with this one, it may be look into it further. So it's achieved it, and everyone knows now. So obviously, if those things matter to you, which hopefully they will do, you might be more inclined to pay the extra money for this bar now. But you probably wouldn't look into that really. I think it's just because as I'm a reviewer, I kind of, it's what I'm here to do, isn't it? But I don't know. I don't know if I would have. Well, I originally thought it was Chocolonely anyway, not Chocolonely. And as I say, I couldn't see any other anti-slavery message on the bar, and it's very small. Even if it's just got like a chain, breaking a chain, and it could mean anything. That really, you probably just gloss over it normally. So swings and roundabouts, I think, is the gist of it. But anyway, let's get on with it. So what's it saying here? So I'm sure this is the right one. This is one you linked to, by the way, Leon, as well. So fingers crossed. Not got the wrong bar, but yes. I think I reviewed another salted caramel bar, and Leon mentioned that this one was basically, you should try this one. Essentially, it's his favourite chocolate, or it's better than the one he mentioned. I'm sure he said it's his favourite. So fingers crossed. Let's have a look. Yes, it's Belgian fair trade milk chocolate with caramel pieces and sea salt, it says. Made in Belgium. So Dutch company, but made in Belgium. So what's the weightage of the bar? It's a 47 gram bar. It gives you per 100 grams, but then per serving, which is the bar itself. So it's I think it's 252 calories, 14.9 grams of fat, 9.1 of which is saturated. So quite high. I can't usually remember what the fat levels are in most bars, but I'm sure that's quite high for the size of it. But it's 47 grams. It's very heavy for the size of it. So there we go. So quite calorific as well. So they're quite small bars, but dense. Yeah, okay, so there's no flourishes either on this one, so we're obviously ethical insofar as the packaging as well, so there we are. So as I say, when I say it's a small bar, actually it's probably the same size as normal. It's just the fact that other ones have flourishes on them, so I shouldn't really say that, to be honest with you, especially as how much I'm against all the flourishes and things. So yeah, so it's probably bigger than on most bars. So it looks very nice. I think the packaging, as I say, other than the branding and things, is a bit confusing, but the packaging itself looks nice. It's quite nice and bright and bubbly. I think maybe the fact that you misread it as Chocolonely is probably to its benefit, and probably hopefully maybe more likely to get it then as well. But I don't know. I'm not going to go on again about that. I think I've been on about it enough. But confusing, but swings and roundabouts, as I say. They're the two things to take from it. Okay, yep. So gives you the address for them as well. Gives you an address as well. It's very hard to read though. It probably is Terry's Chocolonely at. I can't think actually. I think it says Mail UK. Mail UK at Tony's Chocolonely lonely.com. I think. There we go. Okay. Right. Well, enough of that. Let's get into it. Let's give it an open. Right. Okay. So let's give this an open. Right. So. Opens quite easily. The wrapper's very papery. It's quite a thin wrapper, but it feels nice. It is definitely sort of paper based. But there is a foil insert here as well. It looks like, so that's good. Yeah, so I did mail order this. I didn't get it through the post. It's quite expensive, this one as well. I mean, you're talking. It's a typical fair trade affair, so it is quite expensive. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Basically, it's roughly about, over a pound, about £1.50 maybe for it. So not a cheap one. Because it's got the 4 blobs there. So in the big bar as well, it says to have a look on the inside to tell you more about this, what it's talking about. Sort of like check the inside of the wrapper here, but it doesn't have that at all here. So again, so there's nothing talking about it any further. I mean, it could have. There's enough space there to talk about stuff. So I don't know. I feel like yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, let's have a look at the bar itself. Well, I'll measure it first before I lift it up. Let's go. So it's about. Let's say it's cracked in the middle. It's broken, fortunately. So it's about 11.2 centimeters long. And the width at the bottom is about 3.2 as well. Width at the top, 2.5, so you lose about 7 millimeters. And the height, 1.2. So there we go. So quite nice. It's yeah, so here we go. So it's got the uneven bars as well. So yeah, okay, right, I'll come to it in a minute. Yeah, so here we go. So I'm just shaking off the chocolate crumbs. So there we go. So there's another thing as well, and what this actually is it's actually meant to be Africa as well, the sort of west coast of Africa, sort of like underneath the bump that bulges out at the side, you know, where, I don't know, where, well, not Nigeria, but Sierra Leone and the Gambia and places like that are, you know, and he actually says what some of the countries are as well on the website. It's merged some of them together, but just purely for aesthetics and things, because obviously the segments have to be so big. But the gist of it is, I believe, the bottom of the bar is the equator, and here that's the Atlantic Ocean. So you can see the sort of like the and then the segments here. So it does say that, oh look, these are not actual countries. There might be merges of a few countries or whatever, but because they needed the segments to be so big to fit in chunks and things like that, which is fair enough. But you would never know normally it was Africa at all. So I feel like again they could have done a better job of it. It just seems they were explaining why the segments are in different shapes and things like that, not even shapes, and that was why basically. But again, you would never really know that that was meant to be part of Africa, unless you ask the questions and go to the website and stuff. And again, you know, this is what, if you want, you know, this is where this should have said everything, like, you know, what do you think this is, or the bar is, you know, why do you think that we have uneven shapes and stuff? They could have said it all in the wrapper here. They probably do in the bigger bar, as I say. We'll find out when I review it, but. Anyway, I'm kind of going off on the branding a bit too much here, but you know, I think it's important part of what they're trying to achieve and why it's cost so much and why it's this and why it's that, and obviously I think the branding could, you know, there could be more effort made. I think, but the fact is, you know, well, I think people try to buy chocolate based on ethics and things like this, and obviously if it's not giving you the chance to know that this is an ethical bar, particularly in an obvious way, because let's face it, most people just open it and eat it. It costs a lot of money, so you know. I don't even know if Leon was aware of how much, all the ethics behind it all. I don't even know really. He didn't mention anything, so, but you know, obviously, hopefully he does now. If he didn't before, but so there we go. But you know, most people just want some chocolate, really, unfortunately, and you know, and I'm one of those people as well. I buy things because I like them, really. But obviously, if I'm helping someone out in the same time, but if I didn't like the bar, you know, obviously I wouldn't buy it. So, you know. So that's what I'm trying to say, is that most people just open it and eat it. And if it's not thrown in your face what it's about, you're not likely to study the bar. And especially in this case, you would never think it was Africa, I don't think. Especially when it's a small segment in Africa and it's not accurate to the countries or anything like that. So anyway, so it's conveniently snapped in half from when it was in the post. You can see the segments there. So that's very nice. I don't know. I say it has snapped neatly across the segment actually, so that's quite good. So I'm assuming you know, it's quite dense. This is quite thick. So I'm assuming that the where's my trusty knife? Yeah, I'm assuming that the sort of yeah you can see actually. I was going to open it up. You can see there that there are bits of salted caramel chunks in that top section there. So I was going to see if it went all the way through to the top. Of course it does. Yeah. Yeah. So fair trade milk chocolate with caramel pieces and sea salt. So it's not salted caramel, such as sea salt with caramel pieces. There we go. And it says Terry's Chocolonely on that big segment at the end. Right. Okay. Let's give it a taste, I think. Let's do it. Right. Okay. So we're going to give this Tony's Chocolonely sea salt caramel, or chocolate with caramel and sea salt pieces, or caramel pieces with sea salt a taste. So thanks again to Leon for recommending this one, Leon Britton. Yeah. So thanks so much. Sorry again, it took so long to do it, but got there in the end. Right, so I'm going to try this one sort of normal shaped chunk, I think you'd say, with the Tony's Chocolonely on it. So, okay, let's give it a go. It's very nice actually. It's the chocolate's very nice. It tastes has a nice it's a good balanced chocolate actually. It's not too sort of, you know, it tastes what does it taste like? Which it tastes like another similar brand I've had, but I can't quite think off the top of my head what it is. But it's very nice, a very nice chocolate actually. It's very sort sort of not too. Even though it's sort of a Belgian chocolate, it says, I wouldn't say it's particularly a typical Belgian chocolate. You're not getting that sort of like overly creamy taste you get with ones that are sort of, I don't know, like Ritter Sport or Milka, anything like that. It's actually a nice chocolate, not too, just a well balanced one really. So as I say, it's not too sickly, but it's not too dry either. You know, it's just got a perfect balance, and I really like it. Possibly not too dissimilar to say Phaser's chocolate maybe, which is one of my favourites. So yeah, very nice. And as for the salted caramel, well, you get a bit of crunch in there. You might be able to hear from the caramel chunks, the sort of solid caramel pieces. There's a subtle chocolate, subtle salt taste in there as well. So I don't know if it's with it seemed to be with the caramel actually. I just dropped a crumb. That's quite salty. Obviously the balance is just right. Yeah, it's really nice actually. It's very nice. It's really nice. It's not salted caramel. It's caramel with salt, I guess. But one intents and purposes, it's salted caramel. You know, it's it's not soft caramel. It's a hard sort of caramel chunk. You can see there. I think hopefully it's glistening in the sparkling in the light. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, fingers crossed. See those caramel chunks. Yeah, so yeah, it's very nice actually. Some solid caramel bars are not so perfect. Some don't have enough in them, and some but this one's very nice. I think it balances it really well. I think what was it that I reviewed? I said it was one of the best. I think it was a Twix salted caramel. I think it possibly was that. That Leon commented on, saying that this was his favourite salted caramel bar. I should try that one. So, but the Twix salted caramel, the caramel is runny in that one, so it's a bit different in this one. So they've both got their own place, really. Possibly, the Twix obviously has its crunch because it's got the biscuit in there. It's hard for me to say. I'm not sure. I mean, it might be, you know, it's not really comparing apples with apples, really. They're both different. They've both got their own advantages. I possibly might prefer the runny caramel really in the Twix. Even though Twix is quite, I think the chocolate's better here. And this is more of a chocolate bar. The Twix is obviously, you know, it's mainly biscuit, isn't it? This is a solid block of chocolate, so they're kind of different really. So it depends what you're after, I guess. But this is very nice. But I think we're now seeing the sort of the weak point of the bar, and it's these segments. So I've left the two segments that are quite big and normal. But these ones, in order to have these, it's quite a bit difficult. Well, not difficult, but a bit, you know. The other segment's this one here. It's fine, it's fun, I guess, you know what I mean. But these are quite small. You probably just eat these, you know. They do break though. Having said that, they do break. It's not like they're impossible to break or anything like that. So it does work. As I say, but it's all in the name of inequality in the chocolate industry. So you know, it's a fun bar, I think. I mean, maybe you know. I think it's quite difficult to sort of, you know, to measure calories against it. But again, you'd probably just eat it all, wouldn't you? Or measure it by the half of the bar or whatever. But for instance, you know, there's no way of knowing how many calories are in this. You know, not really anyway. Not without weighing it and working it out. Yeah, so anyway, you know, and as I say, it doesn't come across as being... If you could sort of break all the segments up and, as I say, make a country, you know, Africa out of it, fair enough. But because you can't... Maybe if you had multiple bars or something, then you could fit them all together or something like that. But then it would be encouraging you to buy loads of it. So, at different parts of the, you know. So, yeah, the segments are just a bit of fun, and if you don't think about it too much and just accept it for what it is, I mean that's fine. But obviously, it's meant to apparently emphasise the inequality in the chocolate manufacturing industry. So there we go. Yeah, I think this is really nice actually. As I say, I think I don't think I can really hold these segments against it. They are a bit funny, and some, you know, some are very small and others, and this one's quite a small segment compared to this one, for instance, and you know, but yeah, and it still does break. You know what I mean? You probably wouldn't snap this segment off. You probably just eat it with the other segment. But I think it's really nice. I think it is really nice. I think it's not blowing my socks off though, Leon. I'm afraid. I'm sorry about that. I hope you know. I think mainly because it's I think it's not designed to really. I think it's one of those where it is mainly just a block of chocolate, a block of nice chocolate. with sort of nice, a nice representation of salted caramel. And I think, and I think it's really nice actually. I think maybe the fact that it's just, as I say, a block of chocolate. I think it has to be exceptionally different in order for me perhaps to be sort of overly wowed by it. And and that's not to say that I'm not, don't like it a lot, but I think, as I say, it's not blowing my socks off. And I think purely because of the fact that it's, it's not much more than a sort of block of chocolate, I would say. As it does have the salted caramel in there. It's quite subtle, it's not, so it's, I don't know. I think it's missing an X factor is what I'm trying to say. But I do still really like it. I think it's really nice. I think the salted caramel is just balanced perfectly. I think the nice crunch of the caramel chunks are great. I say salted caramel, the salt taste may or may not be with the caramel chunks. I'm not sure, but yeah. So so it gives you that nice crisp taste, and also the chocolate's really nice. I think the only negatives are probably to do with the branding and things, where it's a bit confusing and not quite, yeah, unless you don't know really. A lovely crunch though, as I say, for that salted, the caramel pieces. It's hard for me to know for sure whether the caramel's flavoured with salt or not, or if it's just in the chocolate. I can't really tell really. I just tried dabbing my tongue against one of the caramel pieces and didn't get any massive salty taste, so I don't know. Very nice, very sort of full bar, very packed. Definitely, well, you get your money's worth in regards to ethics is concerned, but obviously you are paying a lot more for this because over the regular chocolate bars. But it's a good size and weight. Yes, I think I'm going to give it. I think a 4.5 out of 5. I think I really like it. It's really nice. It's definitely up there with some of the best salted caramel bars there is, and it's not. And definitely up there with some. Well, it's definitely one of the better sort of fair trade type bars or independent chocolate company bars I've had really. And some of them are very hit or miss. I reviewed some a few years back that were just pretty terrible really, where the sort of like the the sort of components, whatever, the pieces inside them were so badly unevenly distributed and things, and you couldn't even this one at least hasn't tried to play away the fact that the caramel pieces purposefully not even because it's trying to emphasise on equality or whatever, but they are evenly distributed, so there is not they've not done anything silly like that, so thank goodness. Yeah, so it's really good. I think it's a really, really nice bar. I definitely recommend it, and definitely one of the better salted caramels. Lovely chocolate, and I say just gets that balance just right. It's gives you that a lovely, a nice salted taste and a nice caramel bites, chunky bits as well. As I say, just missing an X factor. Well, my own personal opinion on the branding, I think it could be better to try and emphasise what they're on about. But having looked into it, and of course, looking at it, wondering what on earth it was talking about, and why it's branded in the way it is, it did make me, realise things that perhaps I wouldn't have otherwise known. And obviously, I'm relaying them to you. But whether I would have normally done that, and whether you would normally do this, if you weren't reviewing it or whatever, or just eating it normally, I don't know. I'm not convinced you would really, but. But anyway, maybe that's the purpose. Who knows? But yeah, thanks so much, Leon. Yeah, thanks very much. It's a really nice recommendation for you. I've actually bought some others, as I say. I've got the bigger one, the popping candy one to do as well, the white chocolate one, and a few others as well, actually. So yes, so thanks very much for that, for putting me onto this brander. I think someone that I think had mentioned it or seen it on Instagram a while ago, and I just completely forgot all about it. So it's really nice that you either reminded me or informed me about it if that wasn't the case. So yeah, I'll definitely. It could have even been you on Instagram, who knows? But I don't think it was, because I think I would have remembered. So I think it was a good. If it was this, it was a good while back anyway. But yeah, no. So thanks so much, because it's opened my eyes to a new brand that I otherwise wasn't aware of or had completely forgotten about, and it's very nice as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to the other flavours as well. So thanks so much. So thanks very much for that. And thanks for waiting as well. And thanks everyone else for watching. Let me know what you think if you had Tony's Chocolonely. What you think about all this. Slavery in the chocolate industry and things like this, whether you even think about it, whether this has opened your eyes, or whether you prefer not to think about it. I don't know. It's a difficult one, isn't it, really? A difficult subject. But let me know what you think either way. And just, hopefully you enjoyed the review. Leave a comment or free regardless, whatever it's about. It's nice to hear from you. Subscribe if you haven't already. Instagram, follow me on there. Twitter, Patreon if you can as well. And I'll see you next time. And thanks again, Leon. Take care. See you later. Bye.